Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Russian-Lithuania focus or headlines. So previously I have covered this on the 22nd of June, when the things have just started to flare out, and we actually covered quite a bit. And now we are coming back to this issue, and let's see what happened since the last update about the Lithuania-Russian issue, particularly the issue with Kaliningrad, where the railway lines between Russia and Kaliningrad is effectively semi-blockaded by Lithuania on the instruction with a dog ear of the European Commission. So let's start with the first piece. So on the 22nd of June, right after I done the update, the headlines for this Lithuania-Russia issue, the Lithuania President he actually said that he do not expect to have a military confrontation with Russia, but they are ready for power cuts. So Lithuania will be prepared if Russia disconnected from the regional power grid in retaliation for blocking rail shipments. So he said that they are ready and they are prepared for unfriendly actions from Russia in response, such as disconnection from the BREL, the power grid system, or others. So Lithuania also actually did install equipment on its power link to Poland to connect with the continental European grid as an insurance policy. So they are not that afraid. There's a 1.6 billion euro EU funded project aimed to disconnect the Baltics from Russia and Belarus in 2025. So all this confrontation seems to be prepared. You see, they are preparing for further confrontation as the years comes. And on 25th of June, Lukashenko, of course, Lukashenko, the Belarusian president of Belarus, he said the Lithuanian blockade with a dog ear, because it's not actually a full blockade, it's actually just some sanctioned effect. In a way, it's just a the most you can go is a semi-blockade. It's tantamount to declaration of war. So he said the flow of information regarding the intention to stop transit from Russia to Kaliningrad via Belarus to isolate Kaliningrad is increasing. So Lukashenko told Putin while they are meeting, and he basically tells Putin to listen. He tell Putin to listen. Listen, Putin. It is tantamount to a declaration of some war. Such action are intolerable in modern conditions. So very, very interesting. He ordered Putin to listen. So and then Lithuania, 2 days later, on the 27th of June, Lithuania got hit by major cyber attacks. So according to the New York Times, they said that the Moscow have threatened retaliation, and then soon after, computer hackers linked to the Russian state attacked dozens of Lithuanian government and private organizations, according to the Deputy Defense Minister. So according to Newsweek, it's a bit more complete. They said that a Russian hackers group hit Lithuania with massive cyber attack. And then the Ministry of Defense of Lithuania confirmed the attack on Twitter, saying that state institutions has been targeted by intense DDoS attack or denials of service, distributed denial of service attack. And it's when so basically they describe what it is: the attacker overwhelming the servers of a given platform, service, or website by flooding it with traffic, just like what you guys do to my website, to the Defense Politics Asia website. Yeah. Then go to after that, nothing much seems to happen for around 1.5 weeks. Then Russia came out with a statement. So according to the spokesperson of the Russian Foreign Ministry, Maria Zakharova, I know some of my viewers are really have something about her. They really love her. She said that if the situation does not stabilize in the coming days, then Russia will take harsh measures against Lithuania and the European Union, and the issue has taken too long to resolve. And we can speculate what is the action, but maybe something to do with gas. And then 2 days later, 9, 10, 11, sorry, it's 3 days later, Lithuania is not impressed by the spokesman's words, so they decided to widen curbs. So they increased the number of banned goods. So additional goods but include concrete, wood, alcohol-based industrial chemicals. So I'm not sure why is this like you can't drink. I don't want you to live in a house, not even a wooden house, and not even let your machines drink too. So that is a very strong sanction on the Russians. How can you deny them alcohol? And this list of sanctioned goods was extended to cement alcohol from the 10th of July. So from the 10th of July, which is yesterday or the day before, this news came out, and then they will start to even include coal in August. They want to freeze Kaliningrad. This is no joke, man. They're trying to freeze Kaliningrad and to oil products in December. So they want Kaliningrad to go back to the Stone Age by the end of the year. So if you don't die by winter, you will die by no car. So, and then on the 3 days later, on the 14th of July, the EU say have a U-turn. Essentially, they say that the Russian rail transport of Kaliningrad is not banned. So you can actually trace back and see, by the 14th what actually happened in the European Union or in Europe, generally speaking, vis-a-vis Russia, to see what makes EU feel so tricky, so uncomfortable. So for them to make a U-turn. So now they say that in the legal guidance, the European Commission said that Lithuania had an obligation to allow transit of sanctioned goods, with exception of weapons, between Russia and Kaliningrad. So I have no idea why weapons cannot go through by train, unless it had always been the case that weapons can never go through Lithuania. Then this would not make a lot of sense. So anyway, I'm not sure. I forgot to check about this, so it's my fault. I'm not professional enough. Why you all watch me? The transit of sanctioned goods by road with Russian operators is not allowed. So basically, all these sanctioned goods can go by train but cannot go by road. So they say that the prohibition does not exist for rail transport. So very interesting. And however, they still add that sanctioned military and dual-use goods is still prohibited regardless of mode of transport. So I wonder what are all these military or dual-use goods. Like, isn't petrol a dual-use good? I mean, the military need fuel, right? Humans, I think I think military vehicles need humans, right? So whatever. So Lithuania, feels very unhappy about this U-turn from the European Union or the European Commission. They said that so Lithuania said that you will not attempt to challenge a clarification by the European Commission. I'm not even sure why they need to even say this. Like, we will not try to challenge them for this declaration. I know they are wrong. But no, we will not challenge. So they say that it would not be rational to spend our time and energy on discussion whether a kiloton of steel can be transported from one part of Russia to Kaliningrad region by rail, said the Prime Minister, Ingrida Simonaite. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce the name. And so he told he or she, actually I don't know if it's a he or she. I haven't really seen his name. I just read. So anyway, Simonaite said that the Lithuanian leadership or government accept the clarification purely out of respect. You see, they only out of respect for the European Commission's guidance and for the unity in applying EU sanctions, and most importantly for the sake of transatlantic unity. So any further dispute on this matter would be a real victory for the Kremlin, which means that Lithuania actually disagree with the clarification from the European Commission. That means Lithuania actually feels strongly that these sanctions should stay. So this is just divide from it's like a cross, like they split between the Lithuania and the European Commission. And so however goods subjected to existing EU sanctions are not allowed to road. So I added this line just in case I forget to tell you that. And then so the news came out from Reuters saying that EU member Lithuania will now allow Russian goods to transit its territory on the way to Kaliningrad. And so the guidance published say that will not apply to transport between Russia and its conclave as long as the volume do not exceed their averages over the last 3 years. So reflecting real demand for essential goods at the destination. So which means that despite they are allowed to transport, they are not allowed to transport more, or maybe a lot more. So Kaliningrad cannot have a massive boom. Now you can't boom. If you boom, then you are sanctioned. So no booming for Kaliningrad. So which also means like Kaliningrad want to build a new stadium, they can't build something like this, because you need a lot of concrete, right? Additional concrete. So Lithuania, however, will continue to restrict the flow first. That means despite the European Commission say that you should let them go through, Lithuania say no. The restriction will stay until they figure out the new rules. So the Prime Minister said controls will need to be in place for certain sanction freight. Lithuania will have to set rules for the control, and until that time, current procedure will remain in place. And she gave no timeline in creating the new rules. So despite that, they say that they will follow the rules, follow the sorry, let me keep this open so that you don't get confused. So they will, although they accept the U-turn begrudgingly, but no, they will decide when to follow. They were still going to keep the transit blocked as far as they like, as long as they like. Then Kaliningrad is not happy about this. So Anton Alikhanov, I think this is the governor, so of Kaliningrad region, he said that Kaliningrad themselves will take retaliatory steps if EU does not remove restrictions. So EU is like is actually out of EU hands. It's actually in Lithuania's hand, but he don't care. He stated that Kaliningrad had made its proposals, and the decision regarding the proposal against the EU will be taken by Putin and the government of Russia, as well as the Security Council. When he put in Security Council, this is the military. So Kaliningrad is not a happy city. The next day, things got worse for Lithuania. So now the ex-president also came out to talk. The ex-Lithuanian president, Dalia Grybauskaitė, I seriously don't know how to pronounce these names. He said that this turnaround of this transit thingy demonstrate the inability of Lithuania's political elites to make strategic decision. Basically, she decided to burn the current leadership. She said, so I know this is a she because it's Dalia. Dalia is a girl. So she believed that Lithuanian politicians should communicate this decision without hiding behind the commission's back. All they had to do is to say openly that decision was taken following consultation with the partners and the European Commission. There's no need to hide behind the European Commission's back so awkwardly. So far, the political elites have demonstrated their inability to make strategic foreign policy decisions. This is why we see this kind of flouncing and pathetic communication. So sad, because Lithuania actually do not want the U-turn, so they now got burned for no reason. And then the Prime Minister came out and said, it's irrational to waste time to discuss about this steel thing. So it will be a real victory. Why did I mention this before? I think I repeated the same news in a different article. Yeah, so out of respect for the institution, yeah, I repeated the same news. Okay, so on the 18th of July, Lithuania continues to be not happy with the EU. So 3 days later, 3-4 days later, they're still very pissed. The foreign minister came out and called out Brussels and for going on holiday while Russian troops continue their offensive. So he said, as Brussels is on holiday, this is a good opportunity to remind you that the Russian troops are not planning to take day off from further attacks on Ukraine. This is why Western countries, especially those with strong military industries, need to send more weapons to the Ukrainian forces. If anything needs to be continued, it is the supply of weapons, said the Gabrielius Landsbergis. So, very unhappy. But despite their unhappiness, they still ratified Sweden and Finland's NATO membership on the 20th, 2 days later. So they ratified, and they actually the last of the 3 Baltic states to ratify the accession of the Nordic states into the alliance. So the vote is pretty good. Is 112 votes in favor and 1 against for Sweden, and Finland is back with 100% vote. This guy must be very fun in parties. So, however, no trouble continues within Lithuania. The foreign minister now faces interpellation over Kaliningrad transit sanction. Interpellation basically means questioning, official questioning. So the opposition MPs of Lithuania announced that they are spearheading an interpellation motion, basically YYY motion, against the foreign minister. It's the same person, Gabrielius Landsbergis, over his handling of EU sanctions on Russian goods transiting via Lithuania to Kaliningrad. So the Social Democratic MP Gintautas Palakas said that the opposition MP is setting up a consultative group to write down questions for the minister. That's why I say why like this, why like that, why. So they need 29 MPs to sign an interpellation motion and submit to the member of the parliament, of the cabinet. And then the cabinet will have 2 weeks to answer the question in writing. So it's not going to be a drama, it's going to be in writing. So you may not see what's the answer. So 3 days later, Lithuania still feeling very unhappy that they can't do anything to Russia. They decided to approach the ICJ, the International Court of Justice in The Hague. So they filed a plea seeking intervention in the ongoing Ukraine-Russian Federation proceeding. So I'm not fully understand this intervention. I'm not fully understand. But basically, I just read what is being said. They said that they stated in their declaration for intervention that Lithuania shares with all other contracting parties to the Genocide Convention a common interest in ensuring that the construction of its provision, which contains obligations erga omnes partes towards all, are properly interpreted so as to avoid abusive interpretations and misuses of the Genocide Convention, whether in the present case or in the future. So basically, what is this is that in this case, the Russian Federation actually sue Ukraine for genocide, and they say that the Ukrainian government participated in genocide against the Donbas residents, and then that is the reasoning for the Russian invasion. The ICJ is do not agree with that, and they told Russia to not stop their invasion, which was in March. So you can pretty much tell the Russians don't really give a damn. And Lithuania came in to make sure that the Russian narrative will never go through. So Lithuania is really very feisty now. So on the same day, the Lithuanian foreign minister continues to bite this bone. He said that the Green Deal. So basically, if you have followed the Ukraine war summary, you'll probably see me talk about the the grain deal, basically the export of grains from Ukrainian ports. So this grain deal will not be possible without HIMARS. Oh my god, he's also a HIMARS lover. So he said that the agreement to unblock Odessa would have been impossible without HIMARS. It is now very clear that the war will end earlier if we arm Ukraine faster, said the foreign minister Lambergis. So I didn't expect him to be a HIMARS lover also. So we have a lot of HIMARS lovers here. So then on the 24th, they have to capitulate and lift the real restrictions for the Russian enclave. So Lithuania lifted the ban on the rail transport of sanctioned goods, and the Russian TASS new agency cited Kaliningrad government officials saying that 60 wagons of cement will soon be shipped into the territory. Hopefully the cement don't dry along the way. That would be troublesome. On the 26th, the first train of the sanctioned Russian goods transit via Lithuania to Kaliningrad. So they finally arrived. So the first train to Kaliningrad has passed. So this on the 26th. 2 days after they lift the rail restriction. And the second one is undergo custom checks today. According to Mantas Dubaukas. Why do they have such difficult names? Head of communications at the state-owned railway company, told BNS. So the second train carries 5 wagons of cement. Well, that's a lot of cement. What the hell are you going to do? Build a fort or a castle? And oh my god, they could actually very well be doing that. So basically they have been checked and left. And on the 27th, which is actually today, the Lithuania PM still very unhappy with the European Commission. It's like they really, they piss off the Russians. They hate the Russians. Now they're gonna piss off the European Union. So basically they say, I think that perhaps the European Commission itself failed to give full consideration to what reaction might occur after, say, one or another clarification. So but Lithuania followed the guidance it had at the time, and the sanction took effect. So basically what happened in this article, or what he or she is trying to say, is that the entire sanction and this Kaliningrad episode is all caused by the EU, because the EU never clarified it properly for the Lithuanian for the Lithuanian government. So Lithuania just apply the sanction as per whatever guidance they receive. So all these troubles is all EU's fault. It's all European Commission's fault. So they only follow instruction. This is what the Lithuanian PM trying to say. And this is the political part. And this conflict between Lithuania and Russia actually took a religious turn. So on the 22nd, 5 days before, the PM started blaming the European Commission, the Lithuanian archbishop urged a firmer church stance on the war in Ukraine. So the top representative of the Europe Catholic bishops said that the Vatican is changing its approach to the war in Ukraine because of the unlikelihood of a mediated settlement, and then praised the resilience of Ukrainians in withstanding Russian aggression. So this archbishop of the Lithuania, this is what he say actually. This is actually not a real thing. The Archbishop of Lithuania say this to these people, this Ukrainian Catholic bishop at the synod convened in Poland near the border of Ukraine. So he say this to them. This might not actually be true. I just want to highlight this. So he added, although the possibility of mediating doesn't have to be given up, priority clearly needs to go to supporting the victim. And he added, so his name is Grusas, added that he does not believe Putin want to negotiate an end to the war. And I can tell you he is right. So, and then they are, so this is the Catholic one. The Orthodox Church also did something. So the Lithuanian Orthodox Church autonomy from the Moscow Patriarch, is that how you pronounce Patriarch? Anyway, will allow its leader to be more vocal in condemning Russia's war in Ukraine. So what happened is that this Russian opposition politician Andrei Zubov was invited by the Lithuanian wait, I didn't add this in. Okay, he's invited by the Lithuanian Orthodox Church or community to actually talk. So to make some statements. So he's actually, in Vilnius, and he actually made this statement saying that if the Lithuanian Orthodox Church is actually autonomous, they are not linked with the Moscow Patriarch, then they can actually be more noisy. So in his words, autonomy status means the ties with the Moscow Patriarch are maintained, but are based on the principle of partnership, and that the Patriarch cannot command here, which is Lithuania. So according to Zubov, there's far fewer practicing Orthodox Christians, this is broken English, to far fewer practicing Orthodox Christianity in Lithuania and then in Latvia or Estonia. So he feels that Lithuanian community should have autonomy, because I believe Latvia and Estonia have autonomy. So I think that was an article. The article is a bit long. Basically, just this rant about Lithuanian Orthodoxy should be independent. And then soon after, just 2 days later, like I said, this religious turn of events, Lithuania banned the entry of the Patriarch Kirill of Moscow, the head of the Russian Orthodox Church, over his support of Russia's continued invasion of Ukraine. The Interior Ministry confirmed to the Baltic Times, I think. And Kirill was blacklisted on June the 23rd, but there was no public announcement made until now. So why the secrecy? I don't know. Why do I need to keep a secret? So, and the decision was taken at the Finance Ministry's proposal. I have no idea why Finance Ministry is involved in this. So anyway, it's just one hell of a mess. So Lithuania is now, in conclusion, really want to make an enemy out of Russia, and they are really very unhappy that the European Union is not as fierce as them. No, you need to be more garang. Garang. You can go and Google garang. Why is it garang? And that's it for the Russia and Lithuania focus. And if you have watched this all the way to the end, you are now up to track, up to date of everything that have happened between Russia and Lithuania. And I believe this drama might continue, and I will decide whether I will continue to cover Russia, Lithuania, depend on the turn of event, because if there's no more things about Kaliningrad, things is just all verbal, then there's nothing much to cover. Then I'll probably end the coverage for Lithuania, Russia. But meanwhile, this is a very interesting episode, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next. No. You must press the like button and press subscribe. And see you in the next update.